personnel play, that would be Kellen's decision. That's a play that we liked in that situation for the variety of coverages that they were going to play. We felt we had good answers with that. In regards to the receiver rotation, Sanjay Lal, and it's just the communication during those on-the-ball drives. Sometimes those guys work the rotation different ways based on the routes they run and plays they've run and all of that. Stephen A., is this proof Jason Garrett should be fired?
Absolutely. It's absolute proof because he's passing the buck. He's leaving decisions that are ultimately his responsibility, you know, to the auspices of somebody else. And why? Because you've lost and now you don't have control of your destiny any longer. We didn't hear this from Jason Garrett leading up to numerous games that took place this season. Why all of a sudden that you've lost this game and the likelihood is that you're going to miss the playoffs, and here it is that you probably are going to lose your job because of it. Now we're hearing this kind of excuse. I don't want to hear that. The buck stops with the head coach in terms of on-field decisions. What is it that we have religiously complained about with Jason Garrett? We presumed he was a puppet, that he really didn't run anything. I talked about, you know, constantly clapping of the hands and smiling, running out with a smile on his face, even when they're walking peace of mediocrity week after week after week, year after year. And here you are confirming your weakness as a leader, as far as I'm concerned, by passing the buck. Kellen Moore is a first-year offensive coordinator. He's younger than me. He's younger than you. He's younger than you. He's probably younger than you. We don't know this. Listen, the bottom line is this dude ain't been around.
28 years old. If he's
listen. He's a puppy in this business, okay? And you're putting it on him, on his shoulders. And this is not something that happened in week 3. You wait until approaching the very last game of the regular season, a game in which everybody presumes will be your last because you lost to the Philadelphia Eagles last week, and therefore you no longer have the lead in the NFC East. And now we're hearing about whose responsibility it is when clearly you have veto power over everything. The last play, 4th and 8. There is no Amari Cooper on the field, your number one receiver. There's not even Randall Cobb on the field, who was balling for you at certain points in the game on Sunday. And you are going to sit up there and put that on the offensive coordinator? It's the last weak move by Jason Garrett, who, as far as I'm concerned, never deserved to be a head coach, or at the very least should have been fired as early back as 2013. I don't have any idea on earth why people are still talking like if he doesn't get this job, if he loses his job, rather, he's going to get hired by the Giants or somebody.
Well, that better not happen. Jerry Jones.
That better not happen. All I'm saying is this is ridiculous. It's the latest proof that the man does not deserve to be the leader of a franchise as his head coach.
Well, latest proof, I agree. It's not proof in the sense that, like, we didn't know something before that we know now. What you know, it's the old Odd Couples line. Oscar. You know, Jason. He went to Princeton. He's not smart enough to figure out how this is going to come across. I don't even understand the motivation here. Throwing your offensive coordinator publicly under the bus, and Stephen A., you got it right about the timing. Like, why now? You're throwing him under the bus, giving us new information about someone who just has a head on their shoulders at all, let alone went to Princeton, can't figure out how that's going to be received by people. He's not an idiot, so he knows how that's going to be received. Weak. Everything you just said is correct, Stephen A. So I can't even figure out why he does that. Look, the reason he's a head coach, and the reason this is not proof, I mean, we've already had the proof, is Jerry Jones, what do I always say, wants the credit for the Cowboys being good, wants to be thought of as a coach, as a GM. So he handpicked Jason Garrett. He was going to be the offensive wonder kid, you know, like he was going to be gave him 10 years to get it done. Couldn't get it done in 10 years. And now it comes to this, where there's no way coach doesn't understand how people are going to, unless you, if you've lived on earth at all, you know how that's going to be taken. So why say it? I don't get it.
Listen, we've gone ad nauseum about Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that Jason Garrett will not be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. But I want to take a different position on all of this.
Okay.
Okay, the Dallas Cowboys gave up a first-round pick for Amari Cooper because they feel like Amari Cooper is a legitimate #1 receiver. Here it is at the end of the game when your team needs you the most and you're on the sideline, and I'm speaking to the player here. Would Michael Irvin be on the sideline in a situation like that? I've watched you many a times talk about LeBron, lambast LeBron for not taking the last shot, deferring all those type of things or whatever.
That was years ago.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I've heard you say that before.
Yes.
My whole point is, if you're a competitor, you're playing for the NFC East crown. Why in the hell would I even consider being on the sideline in that situation if I'm a player? You are the #1 receiver, Amari Cooper. There's no way. I don't care if Jason Garrett or whatever coach is saying, hey, we want to bring in a different personnel group. Hell no. I'm not leaving the game because I'm the guy. I'm the playmaker.
Is that his choice, though?
Hold on.
How many times have we seen guys in that particular situation wave them off and say, you know what? I'm not leaving the game because this situation is too important for my team to be on the sideline with 30 seconds left in the game.
Let me challenge you and include Max because I want Max to hear my thinking on this. I'll go a little baseball route for you for a quick second here because during the World Series, I happen to be appalled that A.J. Hinch, the manager for the Houston Astros, had Jared Cole in the pen. I understand the man just pitched, but this brother is the ace, the one that just signed a 9-year, $324 million contract with the New York Yankees.
He's pretty good.
This brother is all world. It's game 7. It's the 8th inning, and you need 6 outs to win the World Series, and that brother is in the bullpen. I don't give a damn what you've been doing. You put him in. He didn't like it, but he didn't say anything. You got Amari Cooper. Certainly no comparison to Jared Cole. We get that. But what I'm saying to you is when we bring up the playmaker, his personality on any Sunday is that guy. Amari Cooper, however, is renowned for being mild-mannered. And but here's my thing, Stephen A. Sure.
Okay, we want to pile on Jason Garrett, and yeah, the quote sounds bad. But I am saying, as a competitor, your team, at that very moment, literally, the division is on the line, and you're willing to go on the sideline when your team needs you the most?
You might be identifying
that to me, I can't let that ride.
You may be identifying what it is in Amari Cooper's personality. It's a great personality to deal with, right? But what it is in his personality that prevents him from being more consistently excellent. Like, is he an elite? Is he a top 5 wideout? Probably not, and that's probably why. But then you have to ask about the Cowboys. We all talk about their roster. We want Dak to be elite. As I say, if you squint, you can maybe, but he's not. Zeke is the only elite offensive player they have. They have one elite offensive player. Amari Cooper, you think it's in there somewhere. Dak, you think it's in there somewhere. It's really only Zeke.
But at the end of the day, it was unfathomable that Zeke wasn't getting the ball for a long portion of the season, and now we're talking about Amari Cooper not being there when it matters the most. I put that on the coaching, not on the players.
That's why, and I go back to the coaching as well, because I hear what you're saying, and it's a valid point. But at the end of the day, you know what you have. You got to know better.
I'm great.
Yeah?
I'm good.
What you doing?
Ready to spread the cheer?
What you doing here?
Listen. Let me tell you something, Molly.
Okay.
I don't appreciate people FaceTiming me out of the blue.
Oh.
Don't ever FaceTime me again.
You randomly FaceTime?
You interrupted my evening when I'm trying to enjoy my family, and this buster right here come FaceTiming me.
Did you hit decline or you answered?
No, I answered because, being the man that I am, I answered the FaceTime. Then he want to start laughing and trying to clown me.
Well, first of all, a couple of things. Number one, respect your elders. Respect your elders. That's number one. Number two, I'll FaceTime you any damn time I want to FaceTime you, especially since I got permission from the wife. Wife was right next to him. She said, "Hey, Steven, how you doing? Thank you for calling." She was so wonderful and so sweet. So you automatically at a disadvantage because I got the support of the wife. So you don't have a leg to stand on at all. And number three, and more importantly, it's not my fault that you're miserable. That's the Dallas Cowboys that did that to you. No. That's the Dallas Cowboys that did that to you, man. That's the Dallas Cowboys that did that to you.
Do I get to FaceTime you or not?
Max, don't be, listen. You trying to FaceTime me on the show? Like we got to stop all of this.
That's right.
We got to stop all this.
That's the why. Listen, you made the wrong prediction. You should be happy you